Jonathan Mbewe is currently Senior Manager, International Development at ICAEW, where he leads strategic initiatives to strengthen the Institute's global footprint and partnerships. He brings over 3 decades of experience in professional education, accountancy development, and international capacity building. Previously, he served as Head of Education and Development for West Africa at ICAZ, where he spearheaded regional growth and strengthened relationships with regulators, employers, and learning providers. His earlier roles at ICAZ included Tuition Support Manager and Senior Technical Advisor in Financial Management and Management Accounting, providing technical expertise and education strategy support across multiple markets. Before joining the global accountancy bodies, Jonathan held senior academic and leadership positions in Botswana and Malawi, including at Botswana Accountancy College, Botswana Center for Accounting Studies, and the Malawi College of Accountancy. He is a Fellow of ICAZ, FCCA, and holds a Master of Science in Accounting and Finance from the University of Stirling, UK.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I was testing if you are wide awake. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, I've just had a note. You saw the director of ceremony or master of ceremony passing a note. And when you get that as a speaker, just before lunch, it's actually almost certainly saying, sit down, we want to go for lunch. But surprisingly, she gave me more time than I actually wanted or needed. And we'll have more time for questions around mental health. I just need 5-10 minutes with you. But before I start, I want to thank ICAZ for inviting ICAEW to participate in this conference and contribute to the conversations, which, in 1.5 days, I've learned a lot. Thank you, Bryce, and thank you, Charity. I haven't seen Charity today. Yeah, she's not here. For inviting us to be part of this experience. On a personal note, and I personalize things a lot. On a personal note, I've spent 3 decades wishing I went to an ICAZ winter school, believe it or not. 3 decades I've waited to go to... to go to Vic Falls. And when you've waited that long and suddenly Vic Falls comes to you, and we have a winter school, ICAZ winter school, in the middle of Kent, in summer, and you've brought the summer with you. I think you should start thinking of rebranding that conference. It can't be a winter school when we can enjoy the weather like this. So thank you for that. There really are 2 things I want to do, and only 2 things. 1 slide, just 1 slide, and that's it. First, I want to just talk about, geo membership. ICAEW, ICAZ, geo membership. Maybe to some of you, especially those who are developing their career in the UK, but also for some of you, when you go back home in Zimbabwe, you start aspiring to explore these shores and develop your career in the UK. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, maybe for 5 minutes. And then I also want to give an opportunity to you to ask questions which you may not have asked in the last 1.5 days. And certainly, if you do have any question to Dr. Chris from CABA, I want to give that opportunity to you to ask those questions. You may have generic questions, nothing to do with AI and nothing to do with sustainability. maybe something to do with ICAEW, I want to give you that opportunity to do that. So, first of all, the dual membership. How can you become a dual member? And most importantly, why should you consider becoming a dual member when you're comfortable with your membership of ICAZ? And I'll start with the easier of the two questions, which is how can you become a dual member? Because it's very simple. As simple as go pick the form from ICAEW, and if you're old school like me, or better, just download one. Click on your phones that barcode, and you're halfway through becoming an ICAEW member. I promise you. You go through the process. It's a painless process, and all we need to know is you are a member of ICAZ in good reputation, in good standing with ICAZ, and you intend to keep it that way. This is not switching camp. It's making the camp bigger for your career development. And yeah, I do get this question quite a lot. I want to become ICAEW, but, and I'll talk about the but later on, because there is a big but, because most people think, oh, I want to dump ICAZ and become ICAEW. No, it's not going to happen. You need to be a member in good standing, not only before, but even after you've joined ICAEW. And there are no exams, no questions we're going to ask, thanks to a reciprocal membership agreement which has lasted decades with ICAZ, first done in 2012 or somewhere there, 2010, where we recognize each other's standards and each other's training, and that relationship is what gives rise to you as ICAZ being able to just walk through and become an ICAEW member of ICAEW family. And we are, both organizations are members of the Chartered Accountants Worldwide, so we share a lot, and it's in recognition of that that we want to keep the door open, in fact, open it wider for you, especially if you're going to be working in the UK. The more difficult question I want to address, I won't address it in 5 minutes and fully, but just to give some thought, is why should you become a dual member? Why should you even consider becoming a member of ICAEW when you're absolutely comfortable with your membership of ICAZ? I can put it in a more direct way. Why have some of you become ICAEW members while retaining your membership of ICAZ, including the president? Where is Tendai? She's decided to go with a colorful. Oh yeah, there she is. There are a few of you. I can point at a few. Why did they decide? No, I'm going to be ICAEW again. And there are a number of reasons, maybe 3 or 4 I just want to touch here. Maybe the very first one is you're in the UK, you want to really develop your career in the UK, and ICAZ will support you like they've always done, because that's their job, that's a professional body. But you can get more support to really develop your career whilst you're in the UK by becoming a member of one of the home bodies at ICAEW. And I think if you're going to come to the UK, to holiday, then forget about ICAEW. Just enjoy yourself, go to the Highlands. But if you're going to come to the UK to really further your career, you won't go wrong thinking and considering becoming an ICAEW member, because they will give you UK focus, and we will provide you, in addition to what ICAZ will provide you, will continue to provide you, will provide you UK focused support. We've got faculties. It doesn't matter what, part of the industry you want to be in, whether in practice, in financial services, we've got faculties that will cater for your career in the UK. In fact, maybe develop even other opportunities while you're here. So that's the very first reason you might want to consider becoming ICAEW. The second one, the pretty obvious one, maybe an extension of that, is the good old CPD. We need to continue to develop, and it's an obvious one, but when you're in the UK, you probably want CPD that speaks to the kind of work environment in which you're working, over and above learning those standards and the new legislation that's coming up, which you need to, but then you are in the UK and you won't go wrong. So in the last 1.5 days, we've talked about challenges like sustainability, AI. ICAEW has invested a lot in supporting our members cope with those professional challenges now, especially if you are like me, or some of you who qualified a long time ago, and you're on the verge of giving up. Do I really need to go through this sustainability AI business, or I can count my chickens and then just give up? If you did join ICAEW, you'd be part of that support. Mark didn't talk about the Sustainability Accelerator Program, which is one of the most recent products we've developed to support our members. Beautiful program. If you go through that program, you won't need another hour of CPD. In fact, it gives you more than a year's worth of CPD. For free, if you are a member of ICAEW. If you try to use it, we do allow other members to access that program. It will cost you 450 quid. It is worth considering sustainability. We've just finished developing an AI, similar program that will help members, especially like me, who are a little more challenged with technology. Yes, I am. The next one, I think it's good we talk about this, call it belonging. Now, Zimbabweans are very good at socializing. There's no question about it. You come to the UK, you want to be an accountant, especially if you live somewhere, west of London, around Slough. You don't need anybody. You manage, you grow your career because there will be some Zimbabwean next to you, some accountant Zimbabwean next to you who you can work with. But actually, you might want to broaden your association a little bit more. So if you wanted to see Mark from yesterday's conversation, Mark is a local boy, in Kent. If you want to see Mark, join ICAEW, and if you live or work around Kent, join ICAEW, and immediately you are connected to the Kent network of members, and suddenly MHA and all the work that Mark is doing on sustainability is on your doorstep, and engage that way. So I'm not saying stop socializing within your communities. That's great, but at a professional level, you put yourself in a very, very strong position if you join one of the home bodies. And lastly, but not least, cover. When you do need help, you got cover. And I won't go through everything that Dr. Chris covered. You may, at some point, you may be lucky, you won't need cover, but you may, at some point, need cover, or your family will need cover, and joining ICAEW puts you in that position. Now, the cover do more than mental health. You saw the second slide had 5 different things they do. It's more than mental health. So, join ICAEW, get looked after before you lose it all, perhaps before you get to that tail end where it becomes a mental issue and you can manage the stress and so on. So I would like to invite those who are in the country and proudly ICAZ to consider ICAEW alongside that, and those who are aspiring to come back. So you go back maybe next week, but you think, oh, I like the weather, maybe I should go and work in the UK. Yes, it's like this in Kent throughout the year. Thank you.